Okay, guys, now let's talk about our IT job interview and discuss the most common job interview questions and answers. And first, let's have a look at our common job interview questions. Question number one, tell me about yourself. Tell me about yourself. That is normally followed by the question, why should we hire you? Why should we hire you? Or, what are your salary expectations? What are your salary expectations? A very awkward question. What are your strengths and your weaknesses? What are your strengths and your weaknesses? And your interviewer may also ask you, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Or even, why did you leave your last job? Why did you leave your last job? Your recruiter may also ask you, what do you know about our company? What do you know about our company? And you have to be prepared to make a short presentation. And at the end of your job interview, you may be asked something like that. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Now let's discuss all these questions one by one and try to find the best answers. Question number one. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about yourself. Or you can hear another variant of this question. Please introduce yourself. Of course, you can tell that you have a very good family, lots of friends, lots of pets, hobbies, and so on. But this is not a sort of information your interviewer is expecting to hear from you. That's why we have to say first something like that. Well, as you can see from my resume, and then you can make a short overview of your resume. Here we can follow the so-called elevator rule. Just imagine you are in one elevator with your prospective investor, you have a project and need funds for this project, and you have only 40 seconds or 1 minute in this elevator to make a short presentation for your investor. When you are at your job interview, you find yourself in the same situation. You have only 1 minute to make a short presentation of your resume, starting from the oldest events and moving on to the newest one. So you have 1 minute to make a short presentation, and you can go through all the items of your resume. And at the end of your speech, you can summarize by saying something like, and that's what brings me here today, and why I'm excited to learn more about this opportunity.
The next question, a very straightforward one. Why should we hire you? Why should we hire you? First, we have to understand what stands behind this question. It means your recruiter may ask you, why do you want to work here? Why do you want to work here? Or what are your strengths? What are your strengths? Or even, what makes you the best candidate? What makes you the best candidate? And the answer may sound like, well, I understand your question. You are looking for someone who, and then you can go down the posted job requirements and rephrase them a bit, yeah? But don't forget to mention why you meet each of these requirements. The next very hard question to answer is, what are your salary expectations? The common rule here, avoid giving a single number. You can say instead, I need more details before I can give you an accurate answer on it. Or, if your interviewer insists and is expecting to hear an exact figure, you can answer, the salary range would be approved, right? What is the range? So you are asking the interviewer and he or she may give you a range of your future salary. Or instead of asking your interviewer, you can give a wide range. Like, I would need somewhere between 40 and 1,000 euros or dollar a year, depending on details. And here you can discuss these details, mention these details like fringe benefits, a corporate car, or business trips, or even long hours. And your salary will depend on these details. The next two questions, or two questions combined in one. What are your strengths and your weaknesses? It's always hard to speak about your weaknesses, that's why we start with our strength. Look at the job requirements and mirror them in your answer, like, I have 5 years of experience in this role, or I am familiar with your software tool, or if you are not familiar with this software tools, or if you don't have experience enough, you can say, I have a degree in software engineering. I have a degree in software engineering, for example. Now let's move on to the weaknesses. Don't give a real weakness. It is better to use the following model instead. I do something good, but. I do something good, but. It can lead to something bad. It can lead to something bad. But then I do something good. I rectify this mistake, for example, and so I fix it. It is a very simple scheme. Let's look at the following example. I write many lines of code every day, so I don't have enough time
To write comments.
but it can be a problem for my colleagues who can try to read my code. That's why I write comments next morning when I check my code. A very simple way to speak about your weaknesses. The next question. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? And the best answer is I see myself in this job. I see myself in this job. Or you can add, I expect to be advanced based on my job performance and likely taking some more responsibilities. So you are showing your interviewer that you are ready to do your best. Or you can answer quite simple. I would like to move ahead with your company. I would like to move ahead with your company. So your interviewer can see that you associate yourself with your company and you are on the same side with the interviewer. Why did you leave your last job? Why did you leave your last job? So don't try to lie. Speak frankly. If laid off, give a short explanation. For example, it may be due to downsizing, your expired contract term, and so on. And these are really lots of different reasons. If you left, say so. And you can may add something like, I'm ready to do more. I'm ready to do more. But never badmouth your previous employer. So never say anything bad about your previous employer because your interviewer is your future employer and he or she doesn't want to hear anything bad about himself or herself when you leave this company. So never badmouth your employer. What do you know about our company? What do you know about our company? It's a very tough question because if you are not prepared, it would be hard for you to answer this. So before going to job interview, you can scan the employer's website and you can get some hands-on information about products, service, industry, competitors, what makes difference, and so on. You have to be well prepared to make a short company's presentation. Like imagine you are a salesman in this company and you are selling a product to your customer, but before you have to make a short company's presentation, make this presentation for your interviewer. At the end of your job interview, you can hear a question. Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? You can ask your interviewer, what challenges do you see ahead for this role? What challenges do you see ahead for this role? Or, what do you enjoy most about working for this company? What do you enjoy most about working for this company? Or, can you describe a typical day in your company for someone in my role? Can you describe a typical day in your company for someone in my role? And your interviewer will give you some more information about your duties, about your responsibilities, and so on. And at the end you can ask, where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? It means you are expecting some information about further steps, like we will call you back. It doesn't mean that they never call you back. Maybe they need some more time to interview other candidates, or your interviewer may give you some information when the final decision is made. Okay, let's look at some hands-on phrases that you can use during your job interview. When you arrive, you can say, hi, good afternoon, good morning, depending on the time of the day, and my name is, or I'm Chris Nader, for example, yeah? I have an interview scheduled with Jack Smith at 2 p.m. Or a longer version. I'm here for the 2 p.m. interview with Alex Smith for the assistant manager position. When you are meeting the interviewer may greet you by saying, "Hi Chris, I'm Alex, thank you for coming here." You can answer, "Hi, it's a pleasure to meet you, Alex." "Hi, it's a pleasure to meet you, Alex." If your interviewer knows your name, you don't need to say, "My name is Chris." If he or she doesn't know, you can say, "My name is Chris." At the end of your job interview, you can say goodbye by saying the following phrases like, "It was a pleasure meeting," "I really appreciate your time today," "I really appreciate your time today," or "Thank you for the great conversation," "Thank you for the great conversation," "It was great to hear more about this position," "It was great to hear more about this position." Okay guys, that's all for today. Let's call it a day. I wish you successful job interviews so you can find the job of your dream.